Hello class 10 students. So আজি মই তোমালোকৰ first class to biology part পৰা start কৰিম. So chapter 2 হৈছে life process. এটা খুব important chapter from examination point of view as it consists of the highest marks. So you can't ignore it at any cost. Anyway, chapter 2 মই English আৰু Assamese দুইটাতে বুজাবলৈ try কৰিম, but it will mainly for the English medium students. আৰু chapter 2 শেষ হোৱাৰ পিছত আমাৰ WhatsApp চেনেলত আমি chapter 2 notes খিনি দিম. So তোমালোকে যদি চেনেলটো জয়েন হোৱা নাই definitely join হৈ ল'বা আৰু join হ'বলৈ হ'লে আমাৰ ডেসক্ৰিপচন বক্সত এটা অফিচিয়েল WhatsApp নাম্বাৰ দিয়া হৈ আছে তাত তোমালোকে এটা হাই বুলি টেক্সট কৰি দিলে তোমালোকক সেই চেনেলটো জয়েন কৰাই দিয়া হ'ব আৰু কিবা যদি ডাউটছ থাকে ডেফিনেটলি আমাৰ কমেন্ট বক্সত তোমালোকৰ ডাউটছ খিনি সুধিব পাৰা আৰু আপডেটছ পাই থাকিবলৈ আমাৰ এটা ইনষ্টাগ্ৰাম পেজ আছে Nakhyatra_India সো ফলো কৰিবলৈ নাপাহৰিবা now let's begin.
So welcome to lecture number 1 of your first biology chapter, that is life process. So guys, this is an important chapter from your examination point of view as it contains the highest marks. Alright, so we will really try to study this chapter in detail. Now let us begin. The world is made up of living and non-living things. So ami janu je amar prithibikon living aru non-living things ore toyari. Right? So eta more question to hoise, how can you differentiate between living and non-living? Tumalke keneki gom paba kuntu alive aru kuntu alive nohoy. From here you can say that the lion or the animals they are moving, the man he is walking on the street, or the birds they are flying. So from their visible movement you can say that they are living, right? But what about the plants? If the plants are to kuno visible movement nai, what, are they not alive? Definitely they are alive. So some of you will say that they are green in color or they are green plants, so they are alive. But what about the other plants which are not green in color? Are they not alive? Definitely they are also alive. So from their little growth we can say that they are alive. So it is important nohoy je living things hobole hole eta visible movement lagibo. So if I give you a situation where a dog and a man is sleeping, right? So how can you say that whether they are alive or not? Definitely you will check their breathing. So from there you can say that they are alive. So from here we can say that on the basis of certain characteristics we can define living from non-living things. Clear everybody? Alright, so now let us see what are these characteristics. So characteristics of living things like the ability to move. It is living things like human, animals, tahator lorsor kora khomata ase. They can move. Now second characteristic is to produce offsprings. So they can give birth to new individuals. Living things, be it like human, animals, they have the ability to give or produce new individuals. Third one is to respond and react. Definitely living things, they respond to an external change. For example, doctor injection dia time ot ba eta gorom bostu jeti ami amar hat khon diu instantly ami otrai diu. So he instantly jehetu amar monot eta thought ahe eta junto ami situation sai react diu instant reaction hetu eta living things or characteristic hoy. Now another one is to get rid of waste matter. যেহেতু আমাৰ বডিত কিছুমান waste matter produce হয়, so আমি যোনটো কওঁ nature's call, right? Or a few of you say like number 1, number 2. So it is also a characteristic of living things. Now another one is to take food to stay alive. So আমি খানা খাওঁ জীয়াই থাকিবৰ কাৰণে. And then we turn that food into energy. So সেই foodটো আমি energy লৈ transform কৰোঁ. Alright guys, so these are the basic characteristics of living things. So which we will see what are these processes known as. Okay, so see here processes like nutrition, respiration, excretion, transportation, reproduction, sensitivity, growth. So all these are known as life process, and life process it helps to sustain and maintain life. So students, moi eta jodi tumalok khudu tumaloke life process bolile ki buja? তোমালোকে সহজ ভাষাত ক'ব পাৰা যে আমি একো নকৰাকে আমাৰ বডিত এটা মেইনটেনেন্স ফাংচন চলি আছে, ৰাইট? সো আমি হে খাওঁতে হুতে বহুতে আমাৰ বডিত কিছুমান কাম চলি থাকে। সো হে গোটেই প্ৰসেছটোক একেলগে মেইনটেনেন্সৰ কাম কৰাকে আমি লাইফ প্ৰসেছ বুলি ক'ব পাৰো। I hope everybody is clear now. Okay, so we will learn about these processes in detail in this chapter called life process. I hope everybody is clear till here. Okay, now let us see the first process, that is nutrition. So living organisms, they need energy for growth and maintenance. If a living organisms growth or maintenance karone ki lage energy. So energy ami kor পৰা obtain korim from food. And food contains what? Food contains nutrients. Alright, now let us see what are nutrients. So substances which an organism contains from its surroundings and uses as a source of energy. Okay, এতিয়া চোৱা নিউট্ৰিশন বুলিলে কি বুজা তোমালোকে প্ৰথম কথা সো বডিটোক মই অলৰেডি ক'লো যে গ্ৰোথ ডেভেলপমেন্ট আৰু মেইনটেনেন্স কৰি ৰাখিবলে এনাৰ্জি দৰকাৰ হয় হয়নে সো হে এনাৰ্জিটো আমি ক'ত পাম definitely from different kinds of food আৰু ফুডত কি থাকে ফুডত থাকে নিউট্ৰিয়েন্টস এতিয়া আমি এনাৰ্জিটোক বাহিৰৰ পৰা বডিটোক দিব লাগিব of course সো হে গোটেই প্ৰসেছটোক যত এনাৰ্জি ট্ৰান্সফাৰ কৰো বাহিৰৰ পৰা আমাৰ ভিতৰৰ বডিটোলৈ তাকে আমি কি বুলি কওঁ nutrition বুলি কওঁ I hope everyone is clear now. Now let us see what are nutrients. The nutrients বুলিলে কি বুজা So, আৰু আমি যেতিয়া কিছুমান সাবস্টেন্স আমাৰ সাৰাউন্ডিংৰ পৰা লওঁ আৰু সোর্স অফ এনাৰ্জি হিচাপে ইউজ কৰো তাকে নিউট্ৰিয়েন্টস বুলি কোৱা হয় Okay, so for example, carbohydrates, proteins, fats. এতিয়া আমি carbohydrates কেনে ধৰণৰ আমি সোর্সৰ পৰা পাব পাৰো sources like fruits, bread, milk, etc. আৰু আমি protein কৰ পৰা পাব পাৰো like fish, meat, eggs. From all those we can get proteins. And fats from like different kinds of peanuts, nuts, butter, cooking oil, etc. Okay guys, now let us see here the process of intake of nutrients and its utilization by an organism is called as a nutrition. এটা তোমালোকে definitely বুজিলা nutrition বুলিলে কি বুজা so এটা organism nutrients লোৱা আৰু utilize কৰা processটোকে nutrition বুলি কয় clear everybody so nutrition কি provide কৰে it provide raw material to sustain life. Now ways of obtaining food is known as modes of nutrition. Now my question is how do living things get food? Eta living things keneke food paয় বা কি ধৰণে পায় So যোনটো general requirement হয় for energy and materials লোৱাটো হেতু সব organisms are same কিন্তু বেলেগ বেলেগ ways ত So কি ways এটা দুটা modes of nutrition হৈছে autotrophic আৰু heterotrophic So in autotrophic nutrition the organism they takes in inorganic substances from the surrounding and then they converts it into organic food So basically কি হয় autotrophic nutrition organisms surrounding পৰা কিছুমান inorganic substance লয় আৰু organic food লৈ convert কৰে For example as you can see here green plants in the presence of sunlight they takes in carbon dioxide and water which are the organic substances and then convert it into organic food by a process known as photosynthesis So this mode of nutrition is known as autotrophic nutrition auto means self and tropic means nutrition Okay, let me explain you briefly. Etia autotrophic organisms ote carbon aru energy requirement photosynthesis process to fulfill kore. Okay, so let us see how does it work. So autotrophs bore carbon dioxide aru water surrounding or pra loy hiblak hoise kisuman inorganic substances aru organic food ole convert kore. So yet organic food to hoise carbohydrate in the presence of sunlight and chlorophyll. So all this process takes place kihor presence of sunlight aru chlorophyll presence of এতিয়া carbohydrate to কেনেকে utilize কৰে plants Yes, it provides energy to the plant. এতিয়া গোটেই carbohydrate to immediately use নহয়, right? So যোনখিনি remaining carbohydrate আছে সেইখিনি starch হিচাপে store হয় আৰু যেতিয়া plants of দৰকাৰ হয় as an internal energy হিচাপে তাহাঁতি serve কৰে. I hope everybody is clear. So see here this is an important reaction for photosynthesis. So এই whole process টোত কি হয় চোৱা chlorophyll light energy absorb কৰে He light energy to তাৰপিছত chemical energy le convert হয় যত এই H2 molecules to split হয় H2O আৰু oxygen le এতিয়া last এই carbon dioxide to reduced হয় carbohydrates le so this is a glucose to হৈছে এটা subcategory of carbohydrates Now how do we define autotrophic nutrition এতিয়া autotrophic nutrition to আমি কেনেকৈ define কৰিব পাৰো So basically it is a mode of nutrition in which organisms synthesize their own organic food So such organisms are called as autotrophs. Iti autotrophic nutrition to hoise eta nutrition mode hoy jontut organisms bilake nijor organic food nije synthesize kore aru he organisms bilakok autotrophs buli koy Now for example most plants and some bacteria Yes not all plants okay only the green plants However there are some organisms which cannot prepare their own food They depend on other organisms for their food Ite কিছুমান এনেকুৱা organisms আছে যোনে নিজৰ food নিজে prepare কৰিব নোৱাৰে so তাহাঁতি বেলেগৰ ওপৰত নিৰ্ভৰ কৰিব লগা হয় Now let us see some examples. As you can see here, the lion, it is dependent on the deer, whereas the deer, it is dependent on the grass. The monkey, it is dependent on the bananas, etc. So these are the few examples in which the organisms, they cannot prepare their own food, so thus they have to depend on other organisms. And this mode of nutrition is known as heterotrophic nutrition. So a nutritional mode to ki boli koy heterotrophic nutrition. Hetero mane hoise depending on others, belagor upor nirbhor kora, and trophic means nutrition. Now example, all animals and fungi. Now see here, in heterotrophic nutrition, different organisms use different strategies to obtain food depending upon. Etia heterotrophic nutrition different organisms bilake কিছুমান different strategy use কৰে food obtainer ক্ষেত্ৰত, and it depends upon, first one is body design, depending on the type of body system. So কি body system হে হিচাপত তাহাঁতৰ strategy to use কৰে food obtainer ক্ষেত্ৰত. Now for example, herbivores need different food compared to carnivores based on the digestive system. এতিয়া herbivore আৰু carnivore তাহাঁতৰ দুইটাৰ digestive system বেলেগ, so they also consume different kinds of food. Now as you can see here, for example, herbivores have long intestine, whereas carnivores, they have short intestine, and therefore herbivores, they eat grass, whereas carnivores, they eat flesh. Now second one is the organization. So it also depends on organization, whether the organism is unicellular or multicellular. So unicellular mane hoise single cell edi bonua, aru multicellular means more than one cell. Now for example, this amoeba. So amoeba is a unicellular. So unicellular organism has a different mode, whereas multicellular, like us, multicellular organism has also different mode. Now third one is functioning. So depending on whether the organism is saprophytic or parasitic. Etia etu depend kore je organism to ki hoy, parasitic or saprophytic. Etia tumalike parasite bulile ki buja? Yes, the কিছুমান organisms jone beleg organism or upor depend kore nourishment or karne aru tahator growth or karne. Okay, so for example, ticks on dogs or lice on human, animals, etc. Aru saprophyte mane ki? Yes, কিছুমান organisms jone he growth or decaying material upor depend kore tahator nutritions aru growth hobole. Okay, so those are known as saprophyte. Now fourth one is the availability of food material. So etu depend kore different organisms lake, aru he hisabot tahator strategy use kore food obtainer khetrot. So tahator surrounding ot kenokwa dhonor food available ase, so depending on they use the strategy. Okay, so now see here, some organisms which break down food into simple substances outside the body, they absorb it inside. Iti enokwa kisuman organisms ase june tahator body to bahirot food to eta complex food eta simple substance ole break down kore, aru tar pisot tahati hetu bhitorot absorb kore, bhitorole absorb kori loy. Now for example, fungi like yeast and mushroom and some carnivorous plants. Etia কিছুমান fungi janike yeast or mushroom aru কিছুমান carnivorous plants ase. So carnivorous plants bur hoise june insects or upor depend kore, they feed on insects. Now let us see how. So we will take an example of mushroom. Tolke dekhisa, these are the food particles for mushroom. The mushroom ke keneke tahator food to tahator body to bahirot break down kore aru keneke tahati absorb kore. Let us see here. আমি জানো যে মাশৰুমে কিছুমান টাইপস অফ এনজাইম ৰিলিজ কৰে, ওকে, আৰু সেই এনজাইমছবোৰ যেতিয়া ফুড পাৰ্টিকলছৰ লগত ৰিয়েক্ট কৰে তেতিয়া সেই ফুডখিনি ডাইজেষ্ট হয় এটা সিম্পল সাবস্টেন্স হলে. Can you see here? The food, complex food, it gets digested into simple substances, and after that they absorbs it. So this is how the mushroom, it breaks down the food outside their body and then they absorbs it inside. Whereas some organisms which break down food inside the body then absorb it. Iti enekwa কিছুমান organisms আছে june tahator june food to nijor body bhitor break down kore, tarpor tahati absorb kore. For example, human beings, cat and cow. Okay, let us see how. Now see, the food we taken in, it gets inside our body and then broken down into simple substances, as you can see here. After that it gets absorbed in blood. So basically ki hoy, ami consume kora food to amar body bhitor small substance ole break down hoy aru tar pisot blood ot absorb hoy. Some animals and plants derive nutrition from other plants or animals without killing them, but during the process they harm the host plant or animals. Etia kisuman plants or animals ase jone nutritional karne beleg plants or animals or pora derive kore, but without killing them, tahatok nomorake. Kintu ei gute process tot he host plant or animals to harm hoy. For example, cuscuta, ticks, lice, leeches, tapeworms, etc. Now see one by one. So cuscuta, it is basically a parasitic plant which derives nutrition from other plants. Ticks, it is a parasite which is found on the bodies of animals like dogs. Lice, it is also a parasite found in hair of animals or human. Leeches, as you can see here in the image, it is a blood-sucking parasite. Tapeworms, so worms are found in the intestine of man and derives nutrition from there. So these are the few examples of plants and animals which they derive nutrition from other plants or animals. Okay, now let us see how do organisms obtain their nutrition. It organisms bilake keneke nutrition to obtain kore. Since the food and the way it is obtained differ, the digestive system is different in various organisms. Different organisms bilakor different digestive system ase. So in case of single cell organisms, the food may be taken in by the entire surface. Single cell organisms bilakor khetrot ki hoy, tahator gutei entire surface to body surface to food to engulf kori loy. But as the complexity of the organism increases, different parts become specialized to perform different functions. Kintu jihetu tahator complexity to bahi goi thake, সেইভাবে তাহাঁতৰ different parts to utilize কৰে to perform different functions. বেলেগ বেলেগ functions perform কৰিবৰ কাৰণে তাহাঁতৰ different parts বোৰ use কৰে. Now for example, amoeba takes in food using temporary finger-like extensions of the cell surface which fuse over the food parts forming food vacuole. So food vacuole, it is also known as pseudopodia. Now say here, this is an amoeba, it is a single-celled organism. কি হয়? Now amoeba keneke tahator food to obtain kore. So basically using their temporary extensions. Temporary extensions eblakoke koy pseudopodia, okay? On the cell surface, tahator cell surface so tahator etu pseudopodia to di tahati food to envelope kori loy food particle to aru eta food vacuole banai. This one is the food vacuole. Now inside the food vacuole, complex substances are broken down into simpler ones which then diffuse into the cytoplasm. A food vacuole to junto complex substances hetu break down kore smaller substance hole, okay? After that it gets diffused into the cytoplasm. And these are the digestive products. After that, the remaining undigested material is moved to the surface of the cell and thrown out. Kisuman ji undigested material roi jay hekhini surface to move kore aru cell tur pra uliyai diye. Next is nutrition in human beings. It takes place in a special system called as digestive system. So human beings are nutrition to quote hoy? Yes, in the digestive system. It is made up of two parts. Digestive system to dubhagot bhogwa hoise. The first part is the alimentary canal and the second part is digestive glands. Now let us see what is alimentary canal. From the diagram, as you can see here, it is a long and muscular tube of varying diameter which extends from the mouth to anus. So এই গুটেই alimentary canal dal hoise basically adal muscular tube or nisna aru he tube dalor diameter beleg beleg and it starts from the mouth and ends in anus. So we will study this in detail in the further slides. Now let us see the other part, digestive glands. Digestive glands ki hetu jonar agot ami janibo lagibo je glands mane ki. So glands are structures which secrete enzymes. Amar bodyr pra kisuman enzyme secrete hoy. He enzymes pur jor pra secrete hoy take glands buli koy. Enzymes mane ki? What are enzymes? Enzymes are chemicals which break down complex food into simpler ones. So they are also called as biological catalysts. So enzymes pur hoise kisuman chemical jontue eta complex food to simpler food ole break down kore. Aru eblakok biological catalyst buliu koa hoy. Biological catalyst buli e buli koa hoy কিয়নো he enzymes pur amar body pra naturally secrete hoy. Those are not any lab made enzymes. Well, now let us see which are the digestive glands. First one is the salivary glands. As you can see here, this is the salivary gland. Aru a salivary gland to amar mukhot present ase. It is present in our buccal cavity. Next gland is the gastric glands. So gastric gland, it is present in the stomach. After that, pancreas, as you can see here, it is present behind the stomach. And the last one is liver. So liver, it is present on the right upper side of the stomach. So this is the stomach and this is the liver. Okay, now let us see the complete digestive system together. এতিয়া আমি জানো যে গোটেই আমাৰ ডাইজেষ্টিভ সিস্টেমটো কোৰ পৰা স্টাৰ্ট হয় yes it starts from the mouth so এতিয়া oral cavity এটা gland আছে এটা digestive gland আছে হেতু হৈছে salivary gland আৰু salivary gland কি secrete কৰে it secretes saliva now see this is esophagus also known as the food pipe which connects from the mouth to stomach so this is the stomach আৰু stomachৰ right upper portion দেখিছা যে right upper side এটো হৈছে liver আৰু liver কি secrete কৰে liver bile juice secrete কৰে now below the liver there is a balloon shaped organ called gallbladder so এই liver টো তলত এটা balloon shaped organ আছে হেতু কয় gallbladder after that this is pancreas it is present behind the stomach as you can see here and it secretes pancreatic juice so this is the small intestine this is the large intestine and this is anus so এই গুটে digestive glands বিলাক কি functions কৰে কি secrete কৰে আমি সব ডিটেইলত পঢ়িম in our next lecture so this diagram is an important diagram from examination point of view so practice it with proper leveling alright now let us see what happens in the digestive system এতিয়া samaha actually digestive system tut hoy ki so complex food এতিয়া এই complex food বুলিলে তোমালকে কি বুজা so complex food to এটোৱে হৈছে কিছুমান food যোনটো আমাৰ বডিয়ে easily absorb কৰিব নোৱাৰে হেবিলাকে হৈছে complex food so হে complex food খিনি আমি কনভাৰ্ট কৰিব লাগিব simple food হলে so simple food যেতিয়া কনভাৰ্ট হ'ব তেতিয়া আমাৰ বডিয়ে হে food খিনিক easily absorb কৰিব পাৰে so complex food includes carbohydrates fats and proteins এতিয়া হে carbohydrates fats আৰু proteins খিনি যোনখিনি complex food হেখিনি আমি কনভাৰ্ট কৰিব লাগিব simple food হলে আৰু যেতিয়া carbohydrates to break down হয় simple food হলে it forms glucose fats as fatty acids and proteins as amino acids so this glucose fatty acids and amino acids all these are simple food and thus our body can easily absorb it okay guys so we are done for the lesson number 1 thank you